Welcome to the video, guys. Today we are doing something long awaited, one of the biggest things we've done so far. We are making a start with suspension. I've opted for some German Vogtland 25mm drop lowering springs. They are absolutely beautiful. The finish on them is insane beautiful. And I've also went for some poly upper isolators, some OEM bottom cups, that's what they're called, and some OEM top mounts as well for the front. The rear axle on this car is already poly bushed, and we've got brand new all-round poly mounts at the front coming in very soon. So hopefully once we've done this all we've got to do for suspension is shocks and we'll be all good. So let's get in here, guys. We're starting for the rear because a wise one once told me always start with the rear when you're doing suspension. You get a quick win before you fight with the fronts. Oh, that was kinda right today. In theory we should have got the wheels off, couple of bolts out, dropped the axle, got the springs, refreshed everything, you know what I mean? That didn't really happen. We had to fight with the bolts for a couple of hours, but it wasn't too bad, you know. A lot of swearing, big breaker bar, some penetrant oil, wasn't too bad. Now alarm bells should have been going off in my head at this point about how bad this suspension job's going to be, but we just carried on. Finally get the bolts out. What I just said about the rear being the easier end of the car, I really hope that holds true, because if the front fights me like this, then it's going to be a pig of a job. This car's a hard life. Scotland, North England, a lot of rock, and not a lot of rust, a lot of elements and over tightening of bolts, not by me. So aye, let's get these rears out. One spring. Wee bottom cup, and get the top isolator off as well. Oh, there we go. That has seen better days, guys. That's exactly why you never ever reuse these, man. Look at that, crumbling. Let's go and have a wee comparison. There's your OEM upper isolator. That it's probably 11 years old. Ford Motor Co, so it is original. And here is our new polyurethane one. So as you can see, this is 11 years old. This will probably last a lifetime because it is, I mean, look, that's just rubber, that's polyurethane. But you will get more squeak, you will get more vibration, but it will also feel a lot better handling wise and stiffness wise, etc. And it's going to last you a lifetime. The wee bottom cups, they're just like for like. That one isn't actually in too bad a shape, although it has took a wee bit of battering over the years or getting out there, I'm not sure. So a wee upgrade will be, or a wee refresh will be more than welcome. And then onto the springs, that's what everybody's here for, isn't it? Now you can see the coil is a lot tighter on the Vogtlands up the top, and there is a lot more, there is a little bit more of a gap in between. I know that seems a bit weird for lowering springs, but as far as I'm aware, they'll compress down and drop, which means we'll get better handling. Spring isn't in too bad a shape, a little bit of rust, a bit of rubbing, a little bit of shite on it, but to be fair, not as bad as I thought it would be. We've got a wee bottom cup there, it's got an arrow that says front on it, and then your little spike thing, so I'm imagining that goes on like that, facing the front bumper. We'll have a wee look after. If I'm wrong, we'll see it, because it should be pretty obvious. And then we'll stick that. The springs have also got an arrow saying what weighs up, obviously. So it will. Then your upper isolator, there's a little tab there that sits against that spring, and then this pops into the body up there. You can see up there, that's the wee hole that the locator goes in for the poly isolator. There we go. So you're wanting to put some load on these bolts, almost as if it's at ride height, so that's what we're going to do. I'd say that's probably about right height, but they are maybe a wee bit more. Right, that's where I'm going. Right, I'm happy that that's enough load on the suspension. I'm happy that the isolators and the spring is sitting in the correct place. So, torque time 115 Newton meters. Okay, happy with that. Same on the other side. Right, Right guys, I've just went to move on to the front there and hit it with some penetrant, wire wheeled off the pinch bolts and that. I'm going to have to cut them out there. Totally, the elements I've just got to them, they're kind of seized, they're rounded, they're actually, an 18mm socket is probably, the bolt is probably about 17.7, so it's not going to work. So I'm going to cut them out, but that means we need to get new or used pinch bolts. Now, if I want to get this video out for you guys on Sunday, we're going to have to go used. But luckily, I live very, very close to this guy here, Fiesta ST180 Breaker. He's a legend. I'm always messaging him at like, I don't know, the night I messaged him at like 6:20 or something like that. It's the end of the working day, people shouldn't be at the work. He always replies. The other week I messaged him at like 11 o'clock at night or something like that, and he replied. He's always trying to help me out. He's given me these 4 pinch bolts. I'm assuming the other side will be the same, so we're going to grab 4 for free, just to help me out. I mean, is that not just, you know, he's just a good guy. But he runs this page here, he breaks Fiestas, he sells your OEM parts, he sells mods, anything for a Fiesta, he's probably got it, and the prices are great as well. If you're in Scotland, you can go and meet up with him in Cumbernauld. He's helped me out a really tough spot here to get this video uploaded on Sunday for you guys. So big thanks to Fiesta ST180 Breaker, linked in the description, go and check him out guys, he's a legend. So that means we can get these wheels back on, and I'll go grab the pinch bolts, and I'll see you tomorrow morning, and we'll get cutting. Right ladies and gentlemen, it is the next morning. I have new bolts, new nuts. I've also opted for new drop links because, you know, we're going to have to cut them out, aren't we? I've not tried, but I imagine we're going to have to cut them out both sides. And because I'm no fiddling with my parkside angle grinder, I went for this. Look at that big boy. Corded 4.5 incher. Woohoo! So that should make quick work of these bolts. Let's get to it. Bit hot. Look at that bad boy. That is why it wasn't moving, because it is rusted to feck. Drop links. Here we go. So now we should be able to go up top, get the 3 bolts at the strut tower, and the strut should just drop right out. Then comes the fun part with the springs, man. Okay, so your 3 strut tower bolts are in here. I'm going to whip off all of this cowling here so we can get better access. Let's do that now. There we go. So now we can get to the bolts. I've left 1 bolt at the top, so hopefully the strut doesn't just fall right out while I'm getting it in position. Here we go. It's time for some spring compressors. Now, these are quite dangerous from what I hear. Used them before, but with a mechanic who I was in the corner. But now it's time to grow some testicles and do it ourselves. Now, should look something like this. Then I'll put this one on the other side and we tighten them down with the ratchet evenly. You know, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, basically all the way down, and then we should be able to take the top hat off without the spring everywhere, hence the goggles and the hard hat. Okay, let's do it. So I've got them seated how I think they'll be, and then we just tighten them down now. So that's where I'm at now. I can't get it tightened anymore with my ratchet, so I don't want to over tighten it, so I'm going to try and get the top mount off the now. Hard access socket, 18mm, and I think an 8mm Allen key to stop the strut spinning. Going to transfer it to the floor, give it a bash. Got my Allen key here, got my ratchet there. It's a bloody bugger to get off because you have to keep doing that, evidently. Right, so just be careful. There we go. Right. So, got it back on the bench. I really thought that bolt had beaten me there. The impact was not touching it. Couldn't hold the Allen key, 2 C's. Pry bar, Papa's pry bar to the rescue again. You can't beat an Aldi, man. That is just mental. Oh, slide your dust boot off, and then slide your spring off like that. There's your Shock absorber. Oh my god, that was hellish. Hellish. Don't have a new one of them. Maybe I should have got one. But sure we can clean that up. Okay, yes! New spring. Right guys, I've cleaned up the rubber bit at the bottom. I'm kind of pissed off that I didn't buy them to replace them, but these shocks are going to stay 6 months max, so it doesn't really matter. Time for this bad boy. Like that. Now, I'm not going to clock it correctly just yet. Stick that on. Oops. Come on, son. Come on, son. There we go. Now, new Ford top mount going in. The bolt going in. We're clocked the correct way. So it's 48 Newton meters for this bolt. The spring compressor's off, same as you put them on. Well, that's us guys. A wee bit of paint came off them, but I would rather have some chipped springs in my life than some non-chipped springs and be dead, you know what I mean? So, bro, one new spring top mount. Let's get it in the car. Strut going in. Bolt. So I've got a load on the suspension. I'm going to torque the 2 pinch bolts to 82 Newton meters. And then it's 90. Okay, happy with that. The drop lengths get torqued to 48 Newton meters, but I don't have the correct socket to go through, you know, with the torques to hold it, so I'm just going to have to fucking good and tight with the spanner, so that's what we'll do. Now we'll go up to top and torque the top mount bolts to 30 Newton meters. Pinch bolts are torqued, drop lengths are torqued, brake lines are back on, ABS lines back on and plugged in. I unplugged it earlier. Torquing the drop lengths was a hassle. Got it done. Top mounts are torqued, everything's done on this side, so I'm going to drop the jack and we'll go over to the next side. Put you on time lapse for that side. What I thought was going to happen was a nice easy grind off the pinch bolts, new lowering spring in, away home. That was not the case. What followed was the worst job ever. 10 times worse than the brakes. Every single thing fought me and we wasted days and days and days trying to get this snap pinch bolt out. You would not believe it. I'm going to have to call it a night, guys. It's midnight, Friday night. I'm working Saturday, Sunday. This job's been a pig, man. I thought the rear was going to be the worst bit. Nah. The driver's side, nah. Finished them, got through them, slogged on. Been in here since Tuesday, it's Friday night, right? Don't know how that happened. Come round, like I said, quick time lapse on the passenger side, you know, yabba dabba doo, up the road, nah, no happening. First bolt grinded off, no bother. Second bolt, welded in place with rust. Welded, as you can see on the screen now. So, it's just, I'm beat, and there's not going to be an upload on Sunday, sadly, for the first time in over a year. First time I've missed an upload. So, all I can do, guys, is go home, go to work. So, I'll see you on Monday with some new ideas, maybe some new toys, I really don't know. See you on Monday. After spending the weekend thinking, using my heat for once, I've came back with some new weapons. We're no hammering today. Well, we might be a wee bit hammering. Induction heater, Amazon, might be shite, might be great. Some good drill bits for Bosch, a couple of packets of them, because failing the induction heater, right, I don't think induction heater will work. However, I always wanted one, it's a nice wee toy, isn't it? I actually got two, long story. Anyway, this, heat it up, round about use like that, hammer it out, yay! Doubt that's going to be that easy. Otherwise, we'll get the drill bits and we'll just drill it out, probably not very prettily, but that's all I've got. I spent 2 days thinking with this heat and that's what I came up with, so let's get it dry.
So, shock horror, the induction heater didn't work, so it just took to drilling it out. Took me ages. This is the aftermath. Finally getting it out eventually. I actually had to bend the kind of strut round about that wee nubbin. And then got onto the top mount, and would you believe this one was seized even worse than the first one. The first one was mildly seized. This one, the rubber bushing was spinning inside the top mount independently for the strut, so nothing I was doing was, you know, the impact wasn't working, nothing was working. So I had to take it round to the local MOT centre for them to buzz it off with the air gun. It took them about 10 minutes, you could hear them going absolutely hell for leather at it, and finally came off. So thank God, but every single thing on this job, man. So now we can get the spring back together and finally get the car back on the road again.
Well guys, that's it. The last bolt is torqued. 11 days ago we came into the unit to fit some lowering springs. I thought it would be done in an evening. Here we are. The rear bolts fought me and I thought, oh, this is going to be, you know, the worst bit. Ha! That was like child's play. Front bolts seized. Drive shaft popped out. That was my fault. Popped it back in. Go went and get a grinder. Oh, my grinder wasn't working. Went and get another grinder. Brrr. Brilliant. Top mount seized. Okay, get the pry bar out. Move on to the other side. Quick time lapse away up the road. 4 or 5 days in, whatever it was. No. Grinded pinch bolts off. First one out, no problem. Second one, no, did not move. The shank's threaded, the hole is not, but they became one, and that, you know, we fought it for another 3 days. Got that bolt out, and then the top mount was seized even worse than the first one. So we were trying to do that. Went to try and did the same thing as I did before. Nah, the top mount rubber bushing was turning independently for the shaft, so we had to go down to the local MOT place, and they buzzed it off with an air gun. A 1-inch air gun, by the way, they said. And I'm not even kidding, we sat and waited. I think we were waiting for like 15 minutes and we could hear it going ham. Every single thing, guys. And I went to put the new drop links on there, and the old one, I couldn't get the old one off, and I had to grind it off, nearly chopped my finger off. Induction heaters, drill bits, grinders, new impacts, everything, guys. But we've done it. She's sitting on her feet right now. I've bounced up and down. She's fine, there are no noises. This drive home's going to be epic, but it is currently 11:30 at night and I do not have the energy to film it, guys. So sorry for the no upload last week, but you know, we've been fighting it, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Sorry again about last week. Thanks to everybody who messaged me or liked the post or whatever, you know, appreciate it. Big thanks to DJ Piles for the Fortec manual. Big thanks to Fiesta ST180 Breaker for saving my arse. You know, I know we didn't get the video out, but if that was the last problem, we would have, so thanks to him. Thanks to my mum for spending loads of late nights in the unit with me while I was going insane. Thanks to Cara for sitting in the house and no bothering me for being out late for 10 days in a row, looking after the house, looking after the dog. Thanks to the local MOT centre for buzzing that nut off, and thanks to all you guys for coming back this week and tuning in. So, thank you so much, guys. See you all next week, 5 PM.